We are in Malaysia in 2017 when the death of Kim Jong-nam, the older brother of Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, was announced to the world. Kim Jong-nam's death was strange, quick, and in front of everyone at Kuala Lumpur airport. But certainly this is not just a coincidence, but rather a plan by his own brother. So how did Kim do it? And more importantly, why? Why will the North Korean leader assassinate his own brother in front of everyone? First, I think we should know who Kim Jong-nam in the first place. The father, Kim Jong-il, was in a relationship with Song Hae-rim, and from that he had his eldest son, Kim Jong-nam. Later, Kim Jong-il married to Koo Young-hui, and they had Kim Jong-un. Of course, he had other children, another wife, and some other mistresses, but for now, let's focus on these two sons. Since Kim Jong-nam was the eldest and 10 years older than Kim Jong-un, he was supposed to be the legitimate heir to power after his father. But from the very beginning, Kim Jong-un's mother was doing everything she could to make her son the next ruler. And what helped her even more was that his older brother, Kim Jong-nam, had some tendencies that didn't fit with the family. Kim Jong-nam was a bit soft and more open to the world, and this led him to commit an unforgivable crime. And the crime was... he went to Disney World with his family. Literally, this was seen as a high treason by his father. First, because Kim Jong-nam used fake passports to go to Japan with his wife and son just to visit Disney World there. This was a huge scandal. The son of the North Korean leader visiting Disney World in an American company? What a shame, man. In fact, there are some rumors that Kim Jong-un's mother was the one who informed the Japanese authorities to arrest him for using a fake passport. And the problems began to grow more between Kim Jong-nam and the ruling family until his father told him one day, "You know what, man, I don't want to see your face here again." And indeed, Kim Jong-nam was exiled to China in 2003 to live the rest of his life there. Meanwhile, his father started to rely more on his younger son, Kim Jong-un, who from a young age seemed like the perfect son, someone ready to follow his father and grandfather, ruling the country and its people with an iron fist and being treated like a god, where no one is allowed to breathe without his permission. In 2011, Kim Jong-il died and the power went straight to his youngest son, Kim Jong-un. Meanwhile, Kim Jong-nam just hangs out in China, not really interested about power. Kim Jong-un became the leader of North Korea at just 27 years old. At first, many people doubted his ability to rule the country because he was just a young man without real experience. And one of them was actually his own uncle, who wasn't convinced that Kim should be in power. But Kim handled it in the North Korean way by executing him on live TV. And you can check out this video on the channel to see the full story. Kim Jong-un stepped into power with full force, and in a very short time he managed to tighten his grip on the country even more than his father. He sent a clear message to everyone in North Korea: "I'm not here to play any games, man. I executed my uncle, and I will do the same to anyone else." And while Kim Jong-un was tightening his grip on North Korea, his older brother Kim Jong-nam was traveling around East Asia. Sometimes he even gave interviews to news channels, openly criticizing the North Korean regime. For example, he said that the leadership in North Korea shouldn't be hereditary, and that the country needed to open up to the world if it wanted to develop, and that his brother's rise to power was illegal in the first place. Kim Jong-un was watching all of this, and he wasn't happy at all. Here, he actually began to consider his brother a real threat, and that he should be added to the purge list. Kim Jong-un considered his older brother a threat that must be eliminated as soon as possible. But this time, the assassination won't be ordinary. It will be one of the strangest and smartest assassinations you have ever heard about. First of all, the operation could never take place on China, where Kim Jong-nam lives. Why? Because China was North Korea's most important ally. And North Korea wouldn't risk damaging that relationship, so the plan had to happen outside of China. And since Kim Jong-nam was constantly traveling around Southeast Asia, the perfect spot turned out to be Malaysia. On the morning of February 13, 2017, Kim Jong-nam entered Kuala Lumpur airport alone, heading to China. But what Kim Jong-nam didn't know that there was two girls were waiting for him. The first one was an Indonesian girl named Siti Aisyah, and the second was a Vietnamese girl named Wan Thi Hong. These two girls had been watching Kim Jong-nam since he entered the airport, and suddenly they covered his face with their hands in this way. Kim Jong-nam wrapped himself tightly around them and the two girls fled. Moments later, Kim Jong-nam began to feel his face burning. Something got into his eyes and nose. Even in this clip, you can see him explaining to the officers what he was feeling. Kim Jong-nam went to the airport clinic to try to understand what was happening. But less than an hour, Kim Jong-nam was dead and the news spread throughout the world. Forensic tests proved that Kim Jong-nam died from poison, and not just any poison, but a chemical compound that targets the nerves, called VX. One of the deadliest poisons on earth. Just a single drop is enough to kill you. But maybe you'll tell me, man, are these girls stupid enough to poison someone in the middle of the airport, in front of everyone, and in front of the security cameras? And here, my friend, comes the crazy part of the story. These girls had no idea they were carrying out an assassination in the first place. They were recruited by North Korean intelligence agents as if they were working in a prank show. They were even trained before the assassination operation and convinced that this ridiculous move was really funny and that they were participating in a prank show. Literally, the two girls were convinced they were working in a prank show, and they even posted behind-the-scenes clips and their daily lives on social media. As for the poison, they thought it was baby oil. So yeah, man, the IQ was a little bit bad. Because the VX poison doesn't affect you when it touches the skin, but the real effect is when it enters your blood. For this reason, the girls were recruited to repeat the same move to make sure that the poison actually entered Kim Jong-nam's eyes or nose. Even in the scene, you can see the two girls are walking comfortably to wash their hands of what they thought was baby oil, but in reality, it's poison. I know it sounds like something out of a movie, but this has happened in real life. Kim Jong-nam was assassinated. The girls were completely deceived, and the agents fled the country. Here, the Malaysian government found only the two girls to try for murder, and the penalty for murder in Malaysia is death. But after pressure from the Indonesian government and some evidence such as the photos and videos that they publish on social media, the first girl, Siti Aisyah, was released. As for the other girl, she didn't receive the same attention from the Vietnamese government because of Vietnam's good relationship with North Korea. But she was sentenced at 3 years in the prison, and she didn't even complete the 3 years and was released after a few months. North Korea didn't admit anything, and Kim Jong-un managed to get rid of his brother in the most nasty way possible.